So
we're cutting into training time, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't we talk about that? What are you training for? Slice?
Have we lost you there?
He's just listening. I don't know. He must.
I'm wondering if sometimes if you don't do the caption when you come into the main chat, it could throw you out the voice chat.
Slice, you have to verify, I guess, somewhere. Anyways.
Yeah, it was the bot. He's just gonna have to rejoin the channel. That's all.
So does he have to like leave and then come back?
Yeah, I'm just posting it in the AMA chat now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he'll pop back in. We'll get him back up. But yeah, anyways, thanks for having us. We've first and foremost, thank you everyone for popping in. We really appreciate you guys. What Kimbo Slice Jr. and I did was build our project before building our community. So now we're here to build.
Sorry. Yeah, if I can just, I just need to start the recording, and then go into the questions. That'll be great.
All right, I'm back now.
There you are.
Great, nice. Okay, good afternoon to the Wellcoin Talk community. Today we have an AMA with Legacy Collective. Here to speak about the project is Jessica and Kimbo Slice Jr. So yeah, Legacy Collective is building blockchain legacies. It's a great idea, and there's all sorts we can go into shortly. But the first question, can you tell us about the core team's background and experience within the crypto industry first? That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. So our head of our dev guy, I mean, I like to flex on that. I mean, everybody thinks they have the best dev guy, but I'm really, really partial to mine. He's an amazing guy. He's been in the industry for a long time. He worked for Netflix for 10 years. And he actually he had a school out in the Bay Area. And within that school, they created obviously some curriculum, and that curriculum was picked up for Stanford and Irvine. So he's very, very well versed. He's very well known in the space. He is doxed now, but he has been part of some crazy big projects. One of his partners, part of Polkadot, et cetera, et cetera. He's one of the reasons we've been able to really secure our partnership with Polygon. So yeah, he was definitely a major win when I found him. It took Slice and I months to find somebody that we felt was going to be adequate for the Kimbo Slice brand. And of course, all the other celebrity brands that we are going to be onboarding. We wanted to make sure that we had the right dev. And so they had to be somewhat doxed. They needed to have a lot of experience, real world experience, as well as entrepreneurship, as well as coding. And then also, you know, his company actually has like 217 worldwide engineers, devs. So we can build as wide and as far as we want, as fast as we want. So in saying that, everything is built though. And so we also brought on Roderick Damien, who has been in the the best way to explain it is like financial literacy. He's been showing people how to grow their bags with real estate, with affiliate marketing, with all different types of offers for 20 plus years. Actually, he used to do he used to teach people how to create CBD businesses and white label businesses. So he's very, very, very well versed at taking cold traffic, meaning like an audience or fans that know nothing about an industry, training them and showing them how to take advantage of an industry. And that was something that we knew we were going to have to leverage because of what our idea was, basically taking Web 2 creators and taking their Web 2 fans and bringing them into the Web 3 space. So we knew we needed somebody that could curate this effectively and with a lot of experience. And again, he's been doing this 20 plus years. My background, I come from hospitality in brick and mortar. And then I got into affiliate marketing about 5 years ago. And so that was just a lot of social media marketing, etc. And so yeah, I'm super, super, super bullish on live events. That's a huge part of what we're doing. And it's quite funny, actually, with a lot of AMAs and a lot of Twitter spaces, I hear that all the time. They're like, we got to get together. We got to get live events. And that's already part of our roadmap and our plan. We actually do have a venue secured in Las Vegas that actually already has the Kimbo Slice cage, all of his memorabilia, and it hosts the events once a month. And so we're super excited about that, but I'll get into that because that kind of ties into the utility of our subscriptions. And then of course we have Kimbo Slice Jr. So he, I'll tell you a little bit of the backstory of how we met. And it's kind of interesting. I knew his father. I met Kimbo Slice in 2014. I didn't meet Kimbo Jr. through his dad. I actually met him through, sadly enough, a hashtag, a RIP Kimbo Slice hashtag. And he messaged me on Instagram years ago and said, "Did you know my dad?" And I said, "Yeah, I knew your dad." And so anyways, we followed each other on social media. And last alt season, like we were just speaking about, you guys remember, it was crazy. It was like a major, major bull run. Like you could do anything and make money. And so we actually, I mean, I don't know how many people out there are like into serendipity or universal intelligence, but we definitely are. We're very much into good vibes and, really listening to our intuition. And so what happened was I actually woke up one morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning, like gasped out of bed. And I was like, I gotta build this fighter token. I've got to do it. And I'd kind of been thinking about it, but I had the plan after sleeping on it. And so I woke up and I messaged him, and I was a little bit concerned because I didn't know him well, but I was a little concerned that it would come across as, let's leverage your father's legacy, and it might have come across in an untactful way. So I was really concerned about that, but I sent the message anyways. So he read it in the morning and he didn't respond to me. So you guys, I was dying. I was like, oh my goodness, you guys, no, I offended him. That was not the case. He hit me back around 2 p.m. and he said, "Token, yeah, let's do it." And then he put his brother and I on the phone, and he explained they were up until 5 o'clock in the morning coming up with the exact same idea, with the exact same utility, and the exact same name. It was crazy. The reason why he didn't answer me right away is because he was like, this is some really, really crazy stuff. And he went back and forth with his brother for a few hours because they were like, no way. It's like she was in the room. And that's kind of how I felt when I woke up. I was like, whatever's on my chest, whatever I'm thinking right now, I've got to get this out. And so I did. And that's how we started down this path. And so he was originally promoting a couple tokens last year. And that's how I knew he was interested in the Web3 space, and I realized that he could market. So so that's how that started. That's our team background. I know it's super lengthy and long. Be very careful when you ask me questions because I love to talk. Do you get a better sense of kind of what the team does and who we are?
Yeah, that's great, Jessica. Yeah, so you're building blockchain legacy, so it can be artists, athletes, and creators, but also, I mean, it can be branched out. I'm wondering if you're going in the future, so any family can leave a legacy for the future, or a legacy from the past that they want to collect all together onto an NFT collection.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to explain what we've done is, well, we had to. So if you're familiar with Kimbo Slice, you'll know that he actually was, viral Web 2. I mean, he was one of the OGs, if not the OG of YouTube. He is why we know what viral content is. And so in saying that, we once we got into the summertime, because we were like, okay, let's build a token, and no matter how we looked at it, communities do what communities do, and we were like, well, we're not really satisfied with just throwing up a token and possibly hurting the name, right? We could possibly do that without knowing, and so we thought, okay, we got to build a real business here. And so we decided to get into NFTs. And so when Kimbo Slice Jr. was telling his friends about when he was telling his friends about building a token and NFTs, everyone was like, well, I want one. And then we found out that we could not actually put up the Kimbo Slice videos because of size. Okay. So meaning, if you have a music video, for example, a music video would be chopped up into 75 pieces on OpenSeas, because they don't allow that much storage with their IPFS array. So in saying that, we realized really quickly we had to build our own marketplace, because most of the network that we have are fighters and artists, and what better content to get out there is video content for those types of entertainers. So that's what we barreled down and built. And building legacies it's very important. We also found in the space that people were ripping off people's likeness and not paying. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's kind of happening, but not as much right now. Kimbo Jr. actually had an NFT made in his likeness, and it was sold for $60K off the floor, but it was never supposed to be sold. It was supposed to be a one-on-one that was given to him. And so that was, it was shitty, but it is what it is. So we decided that all of our NFTs that we create will come with a certification of authenticity, as well as a licensing agreement. So there's no blurred lines. You know exactly what you're getting and who it's coming from. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when it comes to NFTs, all you have to do is, get a hold of any of the copyright emails on OpenSeas or Bearable or anything, and that mailbox is taken very seriously, and that NFT is gone. So if you've purchased something that is in the likeness of someone, and that human being, that celebrity or influencer gets a hold of that, they can have it taken down and you lose your asset. So we wanted to make sure that it was going to be a safe place for hodlers as well as creators. And so that's why we built what we built. So having the IPFS array, we can do up to 4K DVD videos if we want to. We can do full documentaries. We can do whatever we feel like doing, which has actually attracted a different genre. And I hope I don't offend anybody here, but it is what it is. Business is business. So the other genre is the adult industry. So a lot of people have said, they've said to me, Jess, your token's going to be used for an adult marketplace and metaverse and tipping and all of that. Why hasn't anybody done this before? Well, there's two reasons. For one, the Web 2 porn space has made a lot of money. They don't have to do it right now. And for two, the storage in the IPFS is a big deal. It's actually it's challenging to tackle. You have to have that storage. That's the largest cost of any of these marketplaces and platforms. And so, and I'll touch a little bit on the utility. It's kind of a good segue into the utility of the token, is that it's a 100% use token. It's used in two different marketplaces, a celebrity marketplace as well as an adult marketplace. Now, the adult marketplace is very unique in a few different ways, because it's more like OnlyFans, where you can tip and you can purchase NFTs. So you can purchase content. You can pay the monthly subscription. But also, we have partnered with a company that does 360 production into the metaverse. And so fans of these adult entertainers can actually be in the metaverse with a 360 view, not just a 180. It's very, very, very cutting edge production. And so again, the token will be used for all of those live metaverse events, etc. So the token is 100% use. We made sure we wanted to be as compliant as possible, especially with the SEC barreling down on tokens, like they decided to in the fall of last year. We thought, okay, well, we have to have 100% utility. So they basically, you put your money in just like Chuck E. Cheese, and then you can take it and use it in our ecosystem. We also have been in talks with a casino, one of the top 5 casinos, online casinos that want to bring a little bit more Web3 opportunities or options to buy, sell, pay. And so that's what's really important about the token itself. But the marketplace leaving legacies is really what we wanted to focus on in the beginning, because Kimbo Slice has a huge legacy. But if you go look on YouTube, like him being YouTube, he didn't even have his own channel, you guys. I know that sounds insane, because if you go look him up, you're going to find millions of videos. And like the last video that was on, I think it was 226 million views in just a couple of days. Like, he had a huge audience, but back then I don't even think there was subscriptions. So we really want to be able to move from the Web 2 space and what he was able to create to the Web 3 space. And on top of that, speaking about the adult site, we have a lot of the entertainers already locked in via a family friend that founded some of the top adult sites on the planet. So we're not concerned about attracting entertainers. The one reason why they've not been able to monetize their content is been storage, and then obviously they've even OpenSeas has been cracking down on the type of content that goes up. So that's a little bit more about legacies. And that's how we plan on locking in legacies, is not just with the NFTs. We have a lot of bridges and gateways and all sorts of things to work in the metaverse with our NFTs. We do have some metaverse assets, but we will be onboarding people one at a time, bringing their fans into the ecosystem, making sure that we're doing AMAs with them once a week to really educate them on the space, and so on and so forth. And it's not just for celebrities. I think that's something that gets lost in the mix as well. Like you guys, for example, you have a large community. So, and it's even more so of a community that would be buyers within the Web3 market. So if you look at an influencer on YouTube or Instagram and say they have 500,000 followers, well, that's equal to like 30,000 crypto people, right? So if somebody in the Web3 space has a large enough audience, we will definitely look at minting NFTs for them. We always highly suggest memberships and subscriptions first, so you can really lock in your community and really give back to your community. And then with the fun content after that, that's kind of where we're going. But we've just barely launched. We do have a stack of influencers and collaborators ready to rock and roll, but we wanted to get the token out first. So that's why we're here today. We have a pre-sale IDO happening on Saturday. I think it's 7 p.m. UTC. Through Gempad. But yeah, anyways, I will let you ask another question. Otherwise, I'll just keep going on.
Okay, that's fine, Jessica. Yeah. Gempad's one of our partners, so that's great. You're going to be doing the pre-sale there. So how will it work for the NFTs? I think it's a subscription model. And would you need to hold so many tokens or to create the NFTs? How's the the NFT marketplace laid out? Are you going to be rivaling OpenSea, but being able to do a lot longer videos of maybe fights or sports events, musicians doing concerts, things like that in the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's another utility of the token is live events as well as metaverse events. We have a ton of opportunity. Well, not me specifically, but Kimbo Jr. has a ton of opportunity to do metaverse events, and we will definitely be using our token for that. For pay-per-view, as well as we'll be doing live events in Las Vegas. So we were invited to an event in Cincinnati in August to co-keynote with VaynerMedia and a couple other big names. I can't say them yet because they're not signed yet. But we're really excited about that. And that's actually going to be our launch party, our very first launch party. How we've set our Genesis and our membership up to get our community going is we created some NFT memberships. And I highly suggest anybody in here that is interested in the project to go and grab one of those memberships, because all the redistribution for the next 4 IDOs that we'll be doing, that goes into those wallets. So the utility of the memberships, first and foremost, there's only 2,442 minted. So there's a very small amount. The reason being, Kimbo Slice, when he passed, was 42. Kimbo Slice Jr. was 24. That's Kimbo's, those are his numbers. So that's what we decided to do. And so we kept it low because we really wanted to have a really good, solid Genesis community in which we could really pull from to help us, nurture and onboard the Web 2 people that we will be bringing into the greater community. And so the memberships are minted. We minted out of the first batch of them. The utility is the same. There are just different prices. The only difference in the utility, there's 500 that are minted that are a higher price point. There's 2 Easter eggs in there. And those 2 Easter eggs are they're all inclusive packages to come to one of Kimbo's fights and, hang out with us and have the whole entourage experience. It's a pretty cool experience. Go for dinner, go to the weigh-ins, all that fun stuff. So there's 2 Easter eggs in the higher package, but the real utility behind this is you get whitelisted. So every NFT and token drop that we do for our influencers in our marketplace, you get whitelisted. So you have 24 hours ahead of their fans. And then also all the redistribution. So our token has a 2% redistribution pull that goes for all sales, that goes back into the members' wallets. Again, there's only 2,442 of those wallets. And they're approximately about $333. We've tried to keep it around that, and that's in mainnet Matic. You have to swap that mainnet Matic into our token and then purchase from our marketplace. LegacyCollective.com actually has step-by-step. And even though you're a crypto person, just please follow the steps, because a lot of people will purchase the ERC20 Matic, and that is not the correct one. We're looking at the layer 2 mainnet. So follow the instructions on the website. You can actually just swap it, everything done in MetaMask. It's super simple. But the memberships, that's how we want to build our Genesis community. Another utility that we have actually comes from our dev, because he's been around for so long. His company, Rubicon Financial Tech. And if you're looking that up, make sure you put the tech, because there is a shitty company out there called Rubicon Financial, and that's not him. It's Rubicon Financial Technologies. And he has created, and this was quite some time ago in 2016. This is part of his company, is basically just being able to outsource data. So we have the ability to go and check on our competitors. We can look at whale wallets, and it's just easily printed out. We know exactly what's going on in the market and in real time. And so again, that's a major alpha for our Genesis holders that we will be passing on to them. That's already been built. Like I said, he doesn't use it for anything because he's, you know, come into this more of an incubation type startup dev business. But originally in 2016, he was going after the really deep tech stuff. And so he built that. So it's there. So we might as well utilize it. He actually just recently told me about it. I was like, what a cool utility for people coming in, especially if they're going to be holding our subscription membership. So we're really excited about that. But again, the memberships. So I can't say this enough. Every time the token is sold and bought, you're getting 2% into that redistribution wallet that only goes to 2,442. And the token being used, you have to use it to purchase our NFTs on the Legacy Kollective marketplace. Then there's the Kollective.adult marketplace that is in the process of being built. It'll be built soon. But every time somebody buys it for tips, buys it for Metaverse, buys it for live events, to come to our live events as well in Las Vegas or Cincinnati with VaynerMedia, every time somebody does that, you're getting that 2%, and it's being redistributed to only 2,442 people. So I can't say that enough. It's really kind of a big deal because it is such a small amount of memberships. But that's the push that we want to do right now. And then obviously we're IDOing on doing a pre-sale IDO on Saturday morning, which we're really looking forward to.
Awesome. Yeah. So the NFTs for the TLK membership could be worth a lot of money in the future, because you're going to get whitelisted on all the future celebrity brand partnered NFT drops. Can we go into some of the up and coming collections? I saw you've got Wire, Team Kimbo, Celebrity Boxing. What's planned around the NFTs and the partnerships you've got there in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So the other thing I should mention is that the NFTs, that the memberships, they will be able to be leased out as well. So you guys, you know, if we have an event coming up or what have you, you'll be able to lease the membership out if you can't make the event, or you just want to, you know, grow your bag. You're more than welcome to lease it out. So we will be offering that in the future as well. Okay, so the upcoming collections, actually Kimbo Jr. has his own collection, his own 10K that he wants to launch. So that will be coming out quickly. The next one will be Lawn Wick. So Lawn Wick is actually, I don't know if there's any smokers here, but it's a hemp wick. So as opposed to lighting your weed or your cigar or your cigarettes or whatever, as opposed to lighting with lighter fluid and a lighter, you use the wick. So you light the hemp and then the hemp light. So it saves your lungs, especially if you're an avid smoker. And so that is a good friend of ours that owns that product, but he just happens to be really, really well connected. His first cousin is Wiz Khalifa and Tyron Woodley. And then obviously Wiz and Snoop are connected as well. And so Lon's utility for his membership, and I think he's only going to mint 300. So there's just only going to be a very, very small amount of those. But the utilities with that it's pretty cool stuff, mainly Easter eggs. The brand, the Web3 brand that he wants to build is a comic book, and then of course bring that into the metaverse as well. But the Easter eggs to begin with, that utility is pretty cool stuff. Backstage passes, and he says just to say with A-list celebrities. So it could be Wiz, it could be Snoop, because he tours with them as well. He's also security for them. So the other one was producing an album, or not an album, but a song with them. Smoking, if you're a smoker, smoking with them, coming to some of their smoke show parties. All of those sorts of kind of in real life events. And then they also So a family friend of ours owns the venue that I was speaking about in Vegas. It's called High Rollers, and it's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu uh, tournament, but it's all about smoking the weed. So, and Lonnie from Lonwick is part of that as well. So another part is to be able to come to these VIP parties. If you have an opportunity, you can look up High Rollers BJJ right now, and you'll be able to see it's jam packed with celebrities at all times, whether it's fighters, actors, adult stars, etc. So in saying that, that's part of the utility as well. So there's a whole bunch of kind of like in real life utilities for that. And then celebrity boxing. Basically, we're still working with them to come up with the actual utility for their celebrities, but Slice Jr. actually boxes with them often. If you guys haven't had an opportunity, it's entertaining. It's really entertaining. Like, I'm a fight fan, like a real fight fan. So I was kind of like, I don't know about this. Kind of seems a little Jerry Springer to me. But then I went and we had a blast, you guys. Like, seriously had a blast. So definitely follow them. And then, yeah, we're going to tokenize the Kimbo Slice assets. That's the plan, is to take the videos, all these viral videos, and actually put them into NFTs. And that was the main goal in the beginning. And then we realized in order to onboard, I haven't even talked about our wallet yet, actually. In order to onboard the Web2, even Kimbo fans, we knew we had to build our own marketplace. We needed a wallet that's quote unquote grandma proof. So we've built a wallet. The Apple side isn't quite finished yet, but the Android version is complete, and we've partnered with Wire. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Wire, but SendWire is the number one fiat to digital payment gateway. So basically, grandma can take her credit card and go from credit card to the swap in our wallet, have the token, and then purchase whatever they want on the marketplace. And obviously moving into this space, we want to do a lot of phygital stuff as well. So, if you own the NFT, maybe you get a t-shirt along with it, or some sort of phygital or physical merchandise as well. Most people don't know this, but Kimbo Jr. went to school for fashion and photography. That's really what his passion is. So we will definitely be having a really cool lifestyle brand coming out, coupled with his 10K NFT launch. So yes.
A freelance photographer, a fashion designer, and a businessman. So he'll be maybe, taking pictures on his travels and including that in his NFT artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. He likes landscape. That's one of his favorite things to do is landscape. And he has an idea right now, just with some base NFT characters. But yes, we'll definitely be incorporating, the things that really light him up. He loves fighting. It's one of his favorite things to do. It's so crazy because he's just so humble and so sweet. And then, like, I look at his fights or see him in the cage and I'm like, that's not my friend. Who is that? It's crazy. But on the other hand, a lot of people see him in the cage. And then, when I tell them, like, no, he's really actually into photography and fashion. That's what he's really, really geared for. The retail market is kind of like, wow, I would have never guessed that. So we definitely will be definitely using his guidance, because he has a really, really good eye. I don't know if anybody's ever seen him at a fight or even on camera. I mean, the guy is full of drip. The gold, it's crazy. I'm like, I feel like I have to be his bodyguard. I'm like, oh my gosh, your neck is worth more than people's houses. It's crazy. And of course, that all comes from Kimbo's dad. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that chain, but we definitely are going to be be NFTing the chain as well. We have a 3D scanner guy that works with us, and so we'll be using the chain as an asset, et cetera, or an attribute. But yeah, I mean, the first part of what we need to do is really get this token launched, and that's why we're here today. We really want to, bring your community over into our community and get this token launched on Saturday morning. And we also want to do some giveaways today. Are we allowed to do that?
Definitely later on. I think we've got spin the wheel and our best questions, things like that, for the investors later on in the call. And also, you're planning a merch shop. I'm wondering if you're going to be doing like designer things, and you'll be able to use the TLK token on the merch store.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. So the marketplace will not only be Web3. It'll have, obviously Web3 content, but it'll also, the marketplace will also have our physical stuff. So I know, Kimbo Jr. has just been like aching. He's been just like aching to get in there, and he's made a lot of Kimbo merch, and he's been selling it over the years. He really is interested in this stuff, and his wife Tiny is just amazing as well. They've got some great people that they work with in LA, and it's like fashion forward, but also more athletic style as well. He does a really good job. I mean, like I said, the man is dressed to the nines all the time. It's crazy to me. You're going to the gym, look at you.
And you're planning an NFT social platform as well, so people can maybe network around different people in the industries.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the two things, again, that comes with the memberships, is we have our own we'll have our own alpha chat in inside of the Discord. So we'll have our own membership alpha chat, and then we'll also have the live events. And if you guys have not participated in live events in any sort of industry, I highly recommend it. Like, why do you think, all of these top Fortune 500 companies have these conferences, or any large company has conferences? Because when people get around each other's presence, in real life, things change. They really do. Like, things really click for people. And I'm really into a lot of self-development and like universal intelligence. Like I said at the beginning of the call, I'm really into that stuff. And I think that everybody can benefit from that. We like to have a lot of fun. Another thing that people don't probably know too much about Kimbo Slice or Kimbo Slice Jr. is they love to play games, like just play, like always playing. And so we plan on having our live events will be, a mixer or a meet and greet on, the Friday. So people can get to know each other. And then in the morning, get to business, right? Bring in different communities so people have a better, basically doing live AMAs, but also having, like a self-development component. And then of course, like fun games and exercise. I won't get into those because I don't want to spoil any of that, but we've got a lot of really cool ideas. And of course, having, the 3D scanner guy there, and, having all of these different things to do and to really just to network and get to know each other, and then on Saturday night, we'll do, a UFC or Bellator watch event, something along those lines. So that's how we're going to plan the real life events. And, a little bit bougier. That's his style, is chill and bougie. And so we want to be doing them once a month as well. That's something that we're very, very, very serious about. And like I said, I come from the hospitality industry. I owned a nightclub for 11 years. I know how to entertain. It's one of my favorite things to do. In fact, over the course of this year, I've been like, oh, I'm really, really, really missing it. I'm like, but I don't have the time. I can't go back to it. So, in saying that, yeah, I mean, it's important. It's important for us to kind of marry all of these things together because it's something that we're passionate about. And I really believe there's not enough in real life events, especially in the Web3 space, and especially, you know, what the world's just gone through with COVID in the last 2 years. It's really, you know, mental health is a huge thing that we talk about a lot in our spaces, you know, just making sure that people know, especially in Web3, because, you know, we get to a point sometimes where we're like, oh shit, I haven't left the house in 3 days. But you don't need to. Well, I mean, even Web2, I mean, me being an affiliate marketer and having young kids and, you know, before they went to school, you know, I didn't have to leave the house at all.
And then you've got the developmental program for artists and athletes to create and brand themselves. So you're going to have people at the company sort of walking them through how to create their NFTs and market them out to the rest of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Slice has actually been, he's already been promoting. He's actually created kind of a side brand. Well, the brand has always been there, but he's been, you know, kind of really fine tuning it and focusing it, you know, basically on how to become part of Team Kimbo. And the Legacy Collective. And so being able to lean, so, you know, fighters and artists, not just fighters, but all different athletes. We're starting with athletes. And for some reason we have a few comedians too, which is really exciting. There's some really funny people out there. And so bringing them into the Web3 space is, it's not necessarily just about bringing them into the Web3 space. It's about really developing their brands. And what better way to do that than to all, you know, lean into, you know, the Kimbo Slice brand that's already established. And then of course, us helping them on the Web3 side to start building their community out. So that's something that, again, was super important to us because when we first started this, we were kind of talking about, you know, Kimbo Slice and you know his legacy, and you know it became apparent very quickly to Kimbo Jr. that you know this was not just for people that already had legacies and had content, and you know and audiences and followers and fans. It really was about the people just coming up, because like he said to me, like on our third phone call, he's like, when we talk about legacy, it should be really about, you know, me building my legacy too. Like what happens if I get hurt? You know, like he did get hurt. And I don't know if people know this, but fighters don't get paid. I mean, they do, but they don't make a lot of money. Like when you first make it into the UFC, you're paying more for your camp and your nutrition than you make whether you win or not. It literally is that. It's that rough. It's a rough go. They also don't have medical. That's not my business model. I'm not here to judge that. It just is what it is. So Bellator pays a little bit more. But again, at the end of the day, until you build a big enough brand for yourself, and it's not even necessarily just like most anything in the world, it's all about branding and marketing. So if you have a big enough brand, they can bring a fight to your city, and they can market it that way. So that's how we plan on developing, is, you know, making sure that, you know, we help them out with branding so they can start to collect those bigger bags, as well as learn how to monetize the fans. Because I mean, most people in Web2 don't monetize their followers or fans. They really don't. They don't know how. People think they do, but they don't. And so that's how we want to definitely grow them.
So yeah, it's Kimbo Slice Jr. approaching Bellator MMA fighters as well, and showing them how they can make revenue because they're not paid very well for the fights. So yeah, they need to sort of promote themselves through NFTs and fights and all sorts of avenues, to get good revenue for themselves.
Right. We have an opportunity for Metaverse games as well. I mean, we get hit up by Metaverse people all the time. Like people always say, why don't you talk about Metaverse so much? Or why don't you talk about Metaverse? And I'm like, well, because I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's where we're all heading. Like, I don't feel like I need to really speak about it too much. That's where we're heading. I mean, we have so much opportunity. There's so many people with all of these different assets that ask him all the time to build games, build this, build all of this stuff that, like we just have to choose. And so when we get to that point, not only him, but all of these, other athletes that he chooses to work with, we'll be able to bring them in as well, and then launch as one big brand. Because there's so many great projects out there that need those brands, those athletic brands for their games and for their communities. So, like I said, we just have to choose. But we're definitely Metaverse excited. We're just not there yet. We built everything, and now we need to, get the memberships out, and get this token pre-sale up and going as well.
Yeah, there's the big ones, Decentraland and Sandbox. People are buying land there. I'm wondering, if Kimbo/Junior and the Legacy Collective company and the TLK token maybe will be purchasing something in the future for NFT holders and to get the brand out there and everything in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, like I said, there's tons of different opportunities. There's, a lot of people reach out to us often. And actually one of the people that we decided to partner with, that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, the Collective.adult NFT marketplace. They're working with a different boxing brand, and that's how we found them. They came to us and said, "Hey, we really want to work with you," and they showed us what they do, and it's really, really cool. They've got, to be honest, I don't even know what platform it is. I think it might be Sandbox, but they have these cool assets where one's like a nightclub, so you can watch the boxing matches on all the TVs, but then it also has this kind of like old school boxing gym asset as well. And then you can be right in the ring with them. And it's not Avatar though. It's the fight is actually casted into the ring. Like, so it's so bizarre. Like I can't even, it's so cool. Like, and it's not like a block, like it looks natural, like it flows through. Like I can't even explain it. It's so cool. So when we seen that, we were like, wait a minute, to be able to use this on the adult side with this adult group that wants to be able to launch a marketplace, this is next level. Because it's like in real life without avatars. I don't even know how else to explain it. It's crazy tech, like crazy, 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 crazy. And so, again, that's just one person that's reached out to us. There's tons of people that have built stadiums that are, that are actually scanning stadiums right now, like in real life stadiums. We've put it out there to a few people to say, hey, you can actually come and scan the Kimbo Slice ring. So we can get that into some of these properties as well. But again, it's just kind of one of those things. I mean, you've got to choose what you're doing in the moment. And, just knowing that there's all of these companies and these wonderful projects out there that really need, the network that we have. We're not all that worried about planning that out right now. I don't think, well, we actually do. So the company owns some assets, but they're like mansions and stuff to have events. So we've been working on those for, more of alpha events, like just speaking and that sort of thing. But like the cool, fun stuff, we know we can tap into that at any time. And as well, this the production company that I was just speaking about, they have the app as well. So we just put our token on there, and then people have to actually use our token to purchase any of these events. So they already have that gateway as well. So yeah, we're pretty jazzed up about that. But again, I mean, people always ask about Metaverse because there's so much going on with Metaverse stuff. I honestly, I can't speak of it in a really, really fluid way because I don't have that much experience with it yet. So once I have a little bit more experience and feel a little bit more comfortable with which direction we're going to go, I'll definitely be speaking about it. But I probably have 1 or 2 calls a week. And I have for about 6-7 months, and just trying to figure out what's going to be the best segue for the Legacy Collective into, you know, those kind of 3D assets and 3D worlds.
Jessica, yeah, I'm not really clued up on the Metaverse yet. It's quite new and you know, in beta and years away for, say, Facebook's Meta, and yeah, so, but it's exciting definitely for the future. With the TLK token, I think you can have a transaction fund, is it, for charities? I'm wondering if you're looking to partner with what charities you're looking at down that avenue.
Yeah, and I forget about that all the time, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's actually one of the things that we had thought about in the beginning is you know, being able to give back to communities. I mean, I have my own opinions on these large corporations that take all our money and give 4% to, you know, natural disasters, but that's my own opinion, and I'm not going to get into that. But that shit pisses me off. Let's just be very, very, very blunt about that. It really upsets me that, you know, people give their hard-earned dollars to these massive corporations that have tons of overhead, and a very small amount makes it to the communities in which it's needed. And I understand business. I understand that that's how business works. You have to pay the people. But when it's run as bad as government is, and you have all of this needless expenditures, it's just not right. And so we really wanted to make sure that we were pulling a percentage for charity, and not even necessarily charities that are set up, but we really want to be able to, when there is a natural disaster, we want to be able to get get the money, get the tokens to boots on the ground immediately, right? That's really what we want. So we'll definitely be growing the bag for that. But we also suggest to all of our celebrities to choose their own charity and have their own pull off of their NFTs as well. And then of course, you know, I think we'll probably do it quarterly. We will choose a charity, and then we will give to that charity. We do, like I said, we do want to have a little bit of a bag growing slowly to make sure that we can help out when a natural disaster happens, because that's always, you know, that's always the worst, right? I mean, I wish I could give everything to charity all the time. And we will definitely be giving a lot more in the future as we get everything built out and a little bit more solid ground for us. But the initial thought was to be able to help natural disasters, communities in natural disasters. I mean, like I was in Mexico not too long ago, and I was in the Yucatan, and you know, they were explaining the Mayans. Actually, the Mayans love hurricanes because it comes and it washes everything away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But they enjoy that, but it doesn't mean that they don't have the money to fix the infrastructure. And it is quite sad. And, you know, Kimbo Jr. was from the Bahamas, so he knows all about shitty weather when it comes in. He was born on, well, he was actually born in Miami, but he was raised on an island. He owns an island in the Bahamas. He's chasing chickens around barefoot, bare bum and barefoot.
And with the TLK token, how does the buy and sell tax break down, Jessica? That'd be great for our investors.
Yeah, so there's a marketing pull is 1%, marketing and live events, charities 1%, and then the redistribution back to the memberships is 2%. And that's just ours. When we onboard our our celebrities. And again, we do have we've got quite a few of them that we've spoke with, and the contracts aren't signed yet because they have a hard time with the utility. They're like, I don't know what to do. So that's why we actually offer the consulting of basically saying, just build some sort of a membership so people can actually get to know you, because that's really what people want, is access, especially your fans. But we'll also be consulting on that. So there'll be redistribution from them as well, but that's completely up to them. We have what we've done, and then we can do whatever they feel is necessary, because with marketing and live events as well, we would appreciate a little bit of a pull on that. And of course, we do have a referral program too. So if anybody sends us a community such as yourselves, if I guess GemPad was the community that referred us to you. Say you wanted to make an NFT collection for Whale Coin Talk. We would give GemPad, it would be coded within the NFTs. They would get a pull every time you guys were sold. So we have a referral program. So if anybody's listening, definitely, let me know if you have communities out there that are looking for a different platform. And you want to be able to, get some redistribution credit for your referral, we'll definitely make sure we code your wallet in, so you're getting the referral transaction fees.
Awesome. Is that open to influencers and investors alike who might have connections? They can approach you and they would get that bonus there?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody. Yeah, I think it's important to make sure that we look after everyone. And again, it's not necessarily, you can be an influencer in anything. And like I said, just because somebody has 500,000 or 1 million or 2 million followers in a Web2 business doesn't really mean that it converts necessarily. Well, not easily. You can convert them, and it's not that difficult to do when you have, the assets in which we've built, just from past experience. But when it comes to like communities of your size, and you guys have a huge community, just on Twitter alone, but even 10, 15,000 of an NFT or just a Web3 crypto community, that speaks loud, and we would be honored to build out collections for people like that. And not necessarily just collections. We can spin you up a token as well, but we want to make sure that has some proper utility to it. Just like we had to go through, we went through like 6 months of vetting with Wire. We wanted to really validate our project. That's why we partnered with Wire and Polygon. Those were partnerships that took a long time to really make sure that we were, they vetted us, I guess is the best way to explain it, especially the merchant. Wire really digs into your person, your corporate structure, your banking, everything, because they are a merchant, right? They are taking credit cards. So they have to appease all of the people, all of the regulators. And so we worked on all of that and made sure everything was built prior to hitting the stage. So that's why we're really, really, really excited to bring this to you guys, especially the pre-sale IDO with GemPad on Saturday. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we can go into the pre-sale shortly, but will you be having the TLK token smart contract audited before or after launch?
Oh, they're already audited. Everything's audited. Yep. Already got all that audited. Yeah, and I keep forgetting to say that too. I think because we've already done all of the things, and I forget the things that are super important to people, and I'm just we Consensus did our audits, and everything came back cool. So I'm on the marketplace. If you look on the marketplace, there's a drop down menu that goes over all of that shows us on Polyscan as well as the Consensus audits. They're not, the Consensus audits aren't posted, but we have them. Yeah. I think there was 4 audits done for the 4 different tokens. well, like the NFTs, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So for investors, yeah, where are we up to for them to get involved? The private sale, pre-sale, yeah, how can they get involved and buy into a TLK token and a legacy collective company?
Well, right now we're going to be doing the IDO. So, like I said, we minted our memberships, and then once we decided we were going to IDO the token, we shut down the marketplace, and had it shut down up until a couple days ago because we really wanted to give your community specifically the opportunity to ape in and grab some of these memberships before the IDO. So the pre-sale IDO is taking place on Gempad at 7 p.m. UTC. So for me, that's like, I think it's like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., something like that. Late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So we have that running, I think, until the 31st. Gempad does a really good. They do a really good job of marketing. I've seen some of their sales, and wow, they've done a good job. I mean, I just watched one. They just killed it the other day for, I mean, I think the raise was like 650K or something, and they did it very quickly. Another one was like 500K, and they did it in like a minute and 44 seconds. Like, it was crazy. I'm really impressed for a new launch pad. We've been talking to launch pads for months, for like 6 to 9 months, quite literally, all sorts of different launch pads. And we decided we would start with Gempad to do our pre-sale, and we're really looking forward to working with them and working with you guys more as well. Like, we really, we're totally into vibes, and some people you just don't vibe with, and we really vibe with you guys, and we really hope that we can help you on the Twitter side as well and get you guys live in spaces. I'm super excited about that. But we have more AMAs. We have an AMA with Gempad, as well as Polygon, as well as a Polygon influencer in Twitter Spaces. So this is our first AMA for our IDO run over the next couple of days. So yes, Gempad. Should I put the Gempad community link in, or shall I put the actual sale link? I suppose I should put the sale link in.
Yeah, if you send it into the shared chat, I think the main chat's locked while we're doing the AMA, and I can post that
I
for our
see. Okay.
investors. Yeah, in it shortly. So going into the marketing after launch, I'm wondering how you're going to promote the building the blockchain legacies, and also the token going forward.
Oh, for marketing?
Yeah, what's happening around the marketing after launch?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so this is really cool, you guys. So another really amazing opportunity that we have by having, the Kimbo Slice brand, is that there's PR firms that have just been knocking down the door, and there is a lovely lady out of LA that Slice actually went to meet her at an NFT event that she threw in LA. It was just kind of a very chill vibe, invite only, very much just networking. And they really hit it off. And she runs red carpet events. So she has a few different, subsidiaries within her business. She is a PR firm. She actually was P. Diddy's right-hand woman forever. She's launched 6 spirit brands, Don Julio's, Ciroc, etc. And she's also been in the NFT space for quite some time, since it really launched. She actually was in what's it called? Clubhouse. Remember Clubhouse? I don't know. I'm not really in there anymore. But when NFTs really started to go crazy, she had met a woman in Clubhouse that was talking about NFTs, and she was like, but she couldn't, this woman was very knowledgeable in the NFT space, but she couldn't get any like leverage. And so what Elisa did was she actually got a whole bunch of influencers like Snoop Dogg and like a whole bunch of influencers to come in and listen to her explain NFTs. So the people that have gone out and actually, you know, really killed the NFT and getting into the metaverse and that sort of thing space, they actually came from her, by her taking them, incubating them, and introducing them to this woman, and then obviously other people that were really, really bullish on NFTs before any of us even really heard about them. So she is going to be our PR lady. Like I said, one of her other kind of subsidiary things that she does is she does red carpet events as well. So she's very, very, very well connected. And kind of on a side note, we're going to be doing SKU businesses as well. So we'll be adding not just merchandise. Actually, the first SKU, and a SKU, if you don't know, is like a barcode. So it's basically just you know, how you can identify a product in the retail market. It's called a SKU. And we're going to be doing spirits. So when I met her, I was like, wow, like you are just like absolutely everything that we need. And so we will be using her for all of our marketing. Also, we have a ton of opportunities, you know, for press releases, etc. We've been on Barstool Sports. We've been on, oh my goodness, where was the Chris Van Valley? I want to say Fight TV, but I know that's not it. I think it's Fight Nation. Yeah, there's, and then, you know, I mean, and Slice has an opportunity to do follow-ups with the London Real, Rolling Stone, all of these huge platforms that you know, he's done interviews with in the past. It's a perfect time to kind of check back in to see what he's been up to, especially with his father's legacy. So we're very fortunate about that. You know, having the, you know, the ability to have a PR woman that big in the space, as well as having the ability of just getting the interviews, because it's not very difficult. People actually want to talk to him. And so that's a lot of our marketing. We also will be doing a lot of education for Web 2 people. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but you can't really, on social media per se, you can't really run traffic to a token. They're not necessarily all that interested in that. They will shut you down and shut your ads account down, etc. But you can run traffic to, you can run paid traffic to education. And so we have some ebooks, and we have an educational platform as well that we'll be running traffic to, that just has, you know, the basic steps and then just our offer. So yeah, that's the marketing in a nutshell. But I mean, all of our money is going into marketing. So everything that we do in the next you know, on the next sales and the next IDOs, all of that money is going into marketing, because we already built everything. Everything's already bought and paid for. So it's not going into dev, so people don't necessarily have to worry about that. So anyways, yeah, I mean, every dollar that is coming in from here on out is going into marketing, whether it's paid advertising, whether it's you know, traditional advertising, you know, billboards, etc. You know, I have a pretty good idea of how to do this, but you know, having the professionals, you know, like Elisa is definitely some major alpha for us. So yeah, we'll,
and also our sponsorships too.
Oh yeah. Hi, you made it back.
No, I was on the whole time. You just been killing it. You know, I've just been listening, and I'm like, I can't say anything because you know you got it down perfect. But yeah, we'll be sponsoring, you know, athletes, TikTokers, YouTubers, definitely fighters. You know, that's like, you know, mandatory. We have to sponsor fighters, but that's also good marketing with the YouTubers and the TikTokers and all those creators, because they get, millions of views on like one TikTok, or, millions of views on the YouTube channel. So yeah, I feel like that's a great way to, get it out there more too.
Yeah, and everybody loves you, so we're so lucky. I'm a little spicy. Not everybody loves me.
As a perfect team, though, yin and yang.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Everybody thinks they got to be scared of him, but no, they got to be scared of the crazy Canadian girl.
Yeah, I'm the nice one. I'm the cool one. I'm like, chill out.
Are you saying I'm not cool? Come on, I got a cool factor.
No,
Actually,
no, you're very cool. I'm just saying, like, if somebody, do
see,
something
guys,
wrong.
he's even scared of me. He's even scared of me. I was actually having a conversation the other day, and somebody was saying, oh, their kids are whatever age and they're just not cool anymore. And my kids are, 14 and 11. And I'm like, I'm super cool to them. They never question my cool. They're like, yeah, right. And I'm like, well, my partner is Kimbo Slice Jr. And once they met him, they realized how cool I actually was. So, anyways, I don't have to deal with that teenage BS because I got a partner that's cooler than I am. So yeah. Anyways, sorry, we got a little off track there.
That's fine, Kimbo and Jessica. We'll move it on and open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got any questions for Jessica or Kimbo Slice here at Legacy Collective.
Yeah, hey Glenn, I've been listening in, and Jessica, you've been killing it, and Kimbo's right. You've given us a pretty thorough overview of everything, and you guys are building something super cool for everybody to participate. And I only have like two short questions. I know you've touched upon a wallet earlier on in the AMA, so maybe you can give us a little bit more details on that. And my second question is for Kimbo, because I know some celebrities and influencers, or whatever you want to call them, like they tend to get a little bit of a pushback sometimes, when they're onboarding the crypto and all of this. But I'm curious how your experience been like, and how's the community treating you?
Honestly, I feel like the celebrities that, do get bashed, or, like you said, get like, pushed back on, being a part of a cryptos, because it's not their project, it's more of like these companies reached out to them to do like a sponsorship video or something like that. So, with me, this is like, my project. I built this. I thought about this and, created it. It's like me being a fighter. I don't just, take one style, from one fighter. I watch multiple fighters, and I take each thing that fighter does great. I take from them and create it, and my own style. So that's the same thing I did with, TLK, Legacy Collective. I saw other projects that had like good ideas, and then they project rugged. So I'm like, man, that was a great idea, but if they did everything right, they could have been successful with it. So I did the same thing with, Legacy Collective. That's why there's so many, moving parts. That's great, because I took a lot of great ideas that didn't work for other companies, and I made it work for us. So I've been getting a lot of great feedback from it, just because it's mine. I'm not a part of it. I created it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely understand. I can, yeah, relate to that sentiment. Like it is for me, like the most important part is that you guys have what I like to call real life experience, right? You're beyond the fact that you're celebrities and all that. You're pretty successful, so you know what you're doing. And the fact that somebody like this is actually interested to onboard the crypto and create some nice DeFi products for everybody to get involved, I think that just speaks a lot to where the space is going and how it'll grow in the coming years, and that people are really early still. I know we used to say we're early a year, 2 year, 5 years ago, but no, this hasn't really like kicked off. So people like you that sort of have this agility and the knowledge, and then the resources, of course, to push something, it makes the space better for everybody. So I like it.
Definitely.
Acty,
Move on
darling.
to
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to open it up to investor questions for Jessica.
Acti did ask about the wallet, so I just was going to just touch on that really quickly. I want to respect everybody's time, obviously, so I'll do this really quick. But the wallet itself, yeah, I mean, we have our own wallet with our own token. We are partnered with Wire. It was a very strenuous process in order to be validated by Wire because they are an actual merchant that has to report to real regulators worldwide. They really had to dig into us as a team, because they can't be putting any rugs up, right? Like they cannot do that. We have the Android is built. It's the iOS that they're still working on, and once that's built, we won't have to use the step-by-step process that we have right now with MetaMask. Again, when you go to legacycollective.com to grab your membership today, you'll flip over. You either hit the button that says become a member, or you hit the button that says buy tokens. It's going to take you to the same place, and it's just going to give you a step-by-step using MetaMask. So most of you obviously are familiar with that, but please, make sure that that you're using the MetaMask and the proper mainnet Matic. That's something that I cannot speak more about. Yeah, I mean, do you have any other questions about the wallet? I mean, it's a pretty simple
that was pretty clear. Yeah, I was just gonna jump back on something that Kimbo mentioned, because I do feel like ideas or even talent sometimes gets wasted in this space, but having you guys here, sort of boots on the ground, having Kimbo in the VC, getting involved and really being part of the community, talking to everyone, and all this kind of engagement, it's pretty rare to see, and it's lovely to see. So yeah, thank you for coming on and answering some questions. It's really nice.
Let's move on to investor questions, and I think I've unmuted Syed. You had a question, but Jessica or Kimbo/Junior here. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I've read that NFT holders will be eligible for monthly token rewards as well. So it got me thinking that will NFTs have rarity levels, and the owner of the rare NFT will be getting more rewards as compared to the other NFT holders. How will that work out?
So no, the NFTs that we've minted, they're all the same. Those are just basically, it's just a subscription. It's a subscription model, a membership model. But yes, absolutely. When we're looking at the NFT drops in the future for our celebrities, absolutely, that's how we're going to find our Easter eggs, with the different redistribution. We'll be able to either we can give people like new assets or attributes for their upcoming collections. We can do redistribution for our token. We can do different access points, like whether they can come to a live event or they get some signed merch, or there's all of these different types of redistribution. But as for the memberships right now, it's just the redistribution of our token. 2% goes into the main wallet, and then once a month it goes into the 2442, and that is spilled over evenly. So if you want more tokens, you buy more memberships. If that makes sense.
Understood. Yeah, I understood. Yes. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so you mentioned about comics. So I was wondering that have you decided that what will be the characters and the storyline of these comics, and who will be the target audience for these comics? I mean, will these be adult comics? How will that work?
Yeah, so it's too bad Lonnie wasn't on. So it's not our specific collection. That's the Lonwick collection. But he loves comic book characters. He loves superheroes. He has already written I think the first 10 or 12. And so they'll be working on, like I said, they're going to build their community. I think he only wants to mint like 300. And then those will be, his Genesis NFTs. That'll be his community. And then from there, he'll be able to take the revenue from that and then hire the illustrator. I would assume it would be a little bit dark because he's definitely into fighting. Like I said, he's part owner of High Rollers Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's also head security for huge names. I don't know if he's head security. I think his brother is. But anyways, he's been security for Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, Tyronn Woodley, etc. If you guys don't know who Tyronn is, he's the one that just fought Jake Paul a couple times. So anyways, but he's very, 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 very creative. And he's wanted to build a comic book forever. And of course, the comic book will be NFT as well. And he's already building assets out in the Metaverse. So we'll be spinning up a token for him as well. So that's why we were super eager to onboard him and get them started.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for explaining that. Thank you. Over to you, Glenn.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming out.
Let's see, Venice, you had a question for Jessica or Kimbo/Junior here at Legacy Collective. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. Actually, I saw you have plans for merchandises as well, and nowadays a lot of NFT projects are integrating physical items with the NFT as well. So I want to know if someone want their NFT printed on some physical item as well, or if you reward the holders with Kimbo used or any celebrity used merchandises or autographed merchandises for the fans. So it would create more hype for in the community. So do you guys have any plans related to these kind of things?
Yeah, Slice, I'm going to let you answer that, but I'll answer the quick and short is absolutely. Yeah, we want to be able to give away things that, have some sort of value to the fan, but also, every NFT would come with, say a T-shirt, and then a Rarible, you'd actually get an autograph of this, or maybe, a meet and greet or something like that. But Slice, go ahead if you're still on.
Oh yeah, I'm still on. But yeah, that's part of the utility when we bring on, an influencer or, whoever it is. That's part of it. That's one of the, utilities we have, with also maybe coming out, depending on who the celebrity is. Maybe if it's a fighter, you get a glove, you get a signed glove sent out, or you get to come to the fight, be part of the entourage, dinners and stuff, or you could possibly, train, with a fighter, come train at his gym. So, but yeah, that's also part of the utility, especially with like with my dad street fight videos. When we create the NFTs for that, some people will get like the NFT, chain, and then we'll probably send them like a Team Kimbo shirt in the mail or something like that. But we're definitely gonna be doing a lot of physical items, because I feel like that's like the route to take when it comes to this. Also having a digital copy and a physical copy.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for answering. And it's I really like that real people coming into crypto space and launching the tokens and working with crypto. And I'm really hyped for your project. So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you.
Let's move on to Aisha. You had a question for the Legacy Collective team. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, you will be going to have your own NFT social platform. I want to know that what features of NFT social platform enable easy interaction between content creators and fans? I mean, will there be any built-in messenger? How will that work?
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we're really leaning into the adult site with, because it's very, very, very important to have that option, because that's what most of the adult fans are used to when it comes to different cam studios as well as OnlyFans, is to be able to have that kind of interaction. So we will be moving forward with that on the adult side. And then of course it depends on the creator. And I mean, you have to understand when it comes to creators, influencers, celebrities, it's really what their temperature, appetite, how much they want to engage with their audience. And that's been something that we've had to have, some in-depth conversations with some of these people, because if you want to monetize your audience, especially in Web3, you have to be active, and you have to, well, like, Slice is here today, promoting his own company. We're telling people that they have to do that. And some people are willing, like if you look at certain platforms like, oh my goodness, what's it called? Where you get a minute video or a 2-minute video from a celebrity. Slice, what's that called?
That's Cameo.
Cameo, yeah. So I mean, like, there's Cameo options for NFTs, but it would be really nice to be able to at least have a text feature back and forth, and that's something that we will be working on. But as of right now, we're just using different alpha channels within our Discord. So we have our main Discord channel, and then we'll have different alpha channels for each individual collection, so people can actually go and again, we'll be starting all of our celebrities off with their own memberships, and so that will be their own alpha channel. Then people will be able to speak to them one-on-one within the alpha collection chat.
Understood. Thank you for answering.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great question. Appreciate you.
Great, thank you for the question, Aisha. Let's see, Western Beach, do you have a question for the Legacy Collective team? Go ahead.
Hi, Jessica. Hi, Kimbo. Thanks a lot, Glenn. So I have a few questions. My first question is going to be talking about your NFT that will be minted after celebrities. So there's two classes of celebrities I'd like to throw at you, and there are two situations I'd like you to address. The first set of celebrities I'd like to ask is about the celebrities who are into sports. So NFTs that will be minted after celebrities into sports. For example, if I'm into sports and then I got convicted of doping, and it turns out that it got through that I'm actually doping, my legacy as it is will suffer. Will the NFTs minted after me, will the prices of those NFTs also suffer? That's the first instance. And then the second instance is NFTs of acting, something similar. I get into a scandal, and then my reputation suffers. Will the NFTs minted after me also suffer?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of just it depends. It really depends on your fan base and how loyal your fan base is. In the Web3 space, I mean, we see dips and all sorts of things bouncing around all the time because of, one influencer or another says one thing. Markets do what markets do, but absolutely, that's something that and thank you for asking, because it's very important that we explain to people that we don't just take on anybody. We want to make sure that we know this person has a good background. I mean, obviously, we can't vet everybody. I mean, people make mistakes. But yeah, if people are if they're the type of person that's pardon my language, but a shit disturber, and they're doing bad things out there, we don't really want to be aligned with them, and so that's something that we really take seriously, because it could, yeah, I mean, I guess if an influencer did make a bad move, they may or may not have a reflection in their floor price. It depends on the fans. I mean, sometimes, you hear this saying all the time, there's no such thing as bad press. So sometimes it doesn't really matter what they do. Sometimes it actually works in their favor. So
I just wanted to add something like that. That is actually a really, great question, because, I never thought about it, fully the way he, asked the question, which was a great question. But yeah, like Jessica said, also it I feel like it's based on, their fan base, and if they, how loyal they are, or how they feel about the situation. And also if the situation is something like bad, this like super bad, I feel like we'll have to, part ways with whoever, that influencer or celebrity is. We'll have to put out, a statement or something, because we wouldn't want to be, tied to that, because most of our, people or influencers that we partner with will be wearing, a Legacy Collective logo or post about it, So if it's something super, serious or, bad, then I guess we will have to, part ways with that influencer.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have spoke about that. We would make sure that obviously the hodlers of the token or collection were looked after. But yeah, that is a good question. I mean, if all influencers behaved, we'd have nothing to do though, right?
Yeah, I actually wanted to asking about the holders of the token, how you take care of them. All right, here's my second question. You made mention of some hardware NFTs. I don't know if I'm correct. Once upon a time, I watched on YouTube about these hardware NFTs with some bionic chipsets for verification purposes. Would you be applying the same technology for your own hardware NFTs?
I don't believe I said hardware NFTs. I don't really know what that is.
All right, okay. I was referring to the time you said about something about 3D printing and about a chain or stuff like that.
Oh, I see. No. So, just basically, so the NFT would be a 3D version of, for example, Kimbo Slice's chain, like his necklace
Yeah,
chain.
yeah, you'll be able to wear it in the metaverse. Like if you have
Yeah,
your character in the metaverse,
a wearable.
a wearable. Yeah, your chain will
Is
be
that what
the
is
chain
that
will
what
be.
you mean by hardware?
Oh, okay. So, would you be planning in the future to bring these hardware wearables?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All all right.
Our dev is actually partnered with a really big wearable company, so we don't even have to actually go out and figure out how to do all that. It's already done. We just have to tap in. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
and
cool. Here's my
most of the NFTs I have some creations that's just for the metaverse. So most of our NFTs I'll be my designs will be made for the metaverse. So you will be able to use it in the metaverse.
okay. Here's my last question. What's the difference between your IFPS database system and a regular decentralized database system?
Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. You're kind of cutting out a little bit. I heard IPFS and then what was the
Yeah,
question?
I'm asking what the difference between your IPFS database system on your website and
I lost him. I'm sorry.
hello?
Hello, yeah. Try again.
Yeah, okay. Network keeps cutting me out. So, what's the difference between your IPFS database system and a regular decentralized database system?
Okay, so well, we are admitting our own marketplace. So we have our own private IPFS, which obviously every marketplace has their own IPFS, but we're admitting ours, so people can't just throw up whatever they want. That was another thing that we wanted to really tackle was brand integrity, because when you're onboarding Web 2 fans into a Web 3 space and they go on a marketplace and they see their fans' content, and then maybe there's something beside it that's racist or hurting animals or hurting children, or because it's fully decentralized, the Web 2 fan isn't going to know the difference typically. That has nothing to do with that specific brand. So we wanted to make sure that we admin, and then that way, and also that's why we are able to give this large amount of storage, because we're admitting it. We can say, look at this person is going to bring enough value, enough audience to warrant this amount of space. If it was just open, like fully decentralized, people would just throw up whatever they wanted, use all our space, cost all our money, and we're getting a very small pull of that.
So, in the event that the audience gets wider, would you be employing more admins based on the verification process to be faster?
Yes, of course.
All right, that'll be all. Great answers, Jessica. Great answers, Kimbo. I really appreciate it. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you so much for asking, Weston. I appreciate you.
Thank you for the questions, Weston. It's been great speaking to Jessica Boat and Kimbo / Junior today. It's been a pleasure. Jessica's an amazing spokesperson and CEO of Legacy Collective. It's really nice to have a great conversation with our investors today, and that you came to WorldCoin Talk first. That's really nice. I'm looking forward to the future for the project. We've got all the links in the main chat. Check out the website, the white paper, the communities in the Discord and the Telegram, and there's a link there if you want to get involved and invest, but do your own research first. We do say in every AMA it's for educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. But yeah, it's been great speaking to Jessica and Kimbo/Junior today. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate you all, and we hope to see you in the GemPad chat on Saturday. If you guys are not in their Telegram, definitely join. They do a very good job.
GemPad are our partners, so yeah, our investors have used the platform before, so that's great for us, and I'm sure lots of people will get involved. And yeah, take care, everyone, and I'm looking forward to the future and the launch of the TLK token as well, Saturday 7 p.m. UTC on GemPad. Don't miss it, guys. And also, I'll finish the recording. I think we've got Spin the Wheel as well.
Yeah. And one other thing, if you guys want to ask me questions, this one's going to fill up really fast. So the Discord's probably going to be the best bet. And I'll actually probably save everybody time too, because it'll probably be the same questions. So the Discord's probably the quieter place that we can actually, get to the questions. I just don't want to miss anything. If you guys are asking questions in here as well, I just don't want to miss a question. So yeah, let's spin the wheel. Let's give away a couple membership.